Hey everyone, Aaron here, and this is my 46th review of this channel, and that is of Guilty Crown. Now, Guilty Crown, I think, already has a kind of infamous standing in that it's a love or hate type of anime, and I'll get into why that is in a little bit. But let me first do the review. So, Guilty Crown stars our main character Shu, who, he's just an average 17-year-old high school student at first. He lives in a kind of not average world where, in Japan, a incident occurred many years ago that kind of killed off a lot of the population and forced kind of a segregation and almost a kind of isolation on Japan. And he's living in that kind of day and age where, it's him having to deal with that, and, a lot of people trying to still recover from the damages of the virus phenomenon, as it's called, or virus destroyer, I think. And one day he ends up finding a girl, and she tells him to kind of save the day by taking this item that is the Void Genome, it's called. And he's got to now essentially bring it to someone else, and he's essentially not supposed to be the main character, I think they're trying to get at. But lo and behold, he has to end up fighting and trying to survive, and he ends up having a fuse with this power that lets him tap into people's hearts and extract items from their hearts, based on how they are as people. Sometimes what they fear and what they love come out as representations. Like, for example, one of the characters has a pair of scissors because they're afraid of scissors, and another character has like pots and pans because they love cooking. It's a funny concept, and I think it works well later on though, because he starts having to kind of delve more into, instead of just fighting back, lightheartedly, he then has to fight back more strongly, because now he has to join this group that's kind of trying to destroy the isolation of Japan by its not captors, but more so the people responsible for its quarantine and all that. And I'm gonna get now into why I think it's loved and hated. Guilty Crown is what I consider an intro anime, and I don't want to say that in the harsh or derogatory nature, but it's one of those anime that people go into it, I think, with a wrong premise. They see reviews that overhype the show and say, "Oh, this is the anime changer. This has done this and that with anime." That's not true. This show has done a lot of things right about anime. I mean, it's got amazing animation style. You can even see it from that wallpaper. That's why I specifically chose this one. It's famous because it looks really phenomenally good. It has some great voice acting. It has some solid music. But it's everything about it in terms of plot and in terms of the characters is also very generic. It's characters that have been done before multiple times at shows. And I think people that were expecting something so differently from the show that when they actually end up watching it, they go, "Oh, what is this? What am I watching?" And right away either loved it or hated it. And that's not right. That's why sometimes I hate reviews for the sole fact that, and by the way, I know it sounds kind of hypocritical that I'm doing reviews, but I hate them at the same time. I hate reviews that overhype something too much too, because if you overhype a show too much, you can actually turn people away from it. You can make people not like it because you give them the wrong premise of the show. That's why if I had to review Guilty Crown, and this is, I think, being generous with it, I'm giving it a B. It's a show that it does a lot of things right. It has a decent plot. It's not very hard to follow. There's nothing too outstanding about it. It's not, again, it has some fan service here and there, but it's not fan service that's like creepy or, trying to always be like, "Oh, hey, here's fan service." It actually tries to get rid of a lot of that. And the ending's not that great. I'm not a huge fan of the ending, but it works for the show, and that's why I can't criticize it too much, nor did I take it off this final score. But again, it's one of those shows that I think if you go into it overhyped about it, or you go into it watching a review that says it's like amazing, it's the best thing ever, you're gonna hate it, or you might like it. But it's mostly, I notice people that watch those reviews and see their reviews that give it A+s and stuff, they say they hate it because they think it's going to be something else. The anime changer. It's not. It's something that I think veterans of anime that have watched a lot of anime will see its flaws, because it does have a lot of flaws. But people new to anime, or even people who like shows like this, will actually fall in love with it and find it fine. I fall in the middle category. I like it. I think it was a good show. I actually plan on buying the series eventually because I do want to rewatch it again. But it's one of those shows that, again, if you've watched a lot of anime, go into it with a grain of salt, realizing that it's not supposed to be overhyped. It's not going to do anything that revolutionizes the concepts of anime. But again, it's a good show. It's something that I watched, I enjoyed it, and it has some very interesting stuff. It has some good fight scenes, etc., etc. It does have a decent romance. I like the romance element too. It's not that bad. It's questionable toward the end, but it's not bad. But anyways, guys, that's it for this review. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, the whole 9 yards. And as always, till I pass across again in the next review. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.